Thank you.
District Governor-elect Mike Kennedy Sebalu, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
I didn't hear what it was.
Good morning,
Good morning. That greeting is electric.
What
been electric? Amasanyaze gabadde gakubye ssebo gavana.
Jaja muzungu bagamba electrocuted. Oyinza okugamba electrocuted.
3 phase. Era lulabika lujjirira.
We've been trained by the experts, so.
Friends,
broadcasting house.
Before they take us to the broadcasting house, I want to inform you that President Frederick Kitakule opened the room at about 6 o'clock, and we who were there, we entered, and we've been enjoying the banters, everything. So next time you come earlier than this, before they put you back to broadcasting house. Thank you, Frederick.
Mzungu, have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Marion, darling.
You are trying to announce when you came in.
Now that Jaja Mzungu has finished his greetings, let us get over to the broadcasting house. Over to you, President.
Those are called marching orders. Obliged, sir.
Thank you very much, Mukulu Wechika. And once again, I wish to welcome you, friends, all Rotarians, Retractors, guests, and all friends of Rotary. Allow me once again to say a very good morning to each and every one of you. We are super blessed and overjoyed here at Daybreak to have you with us today. So allow me also appreciate Bade Group Blackberries for safely landing the plane of community economic empowerment and safely handing over to the crew of Blueberries that will be captaining the ship of the Rotary Foundation during this month of November. So friends, allow me invite the team leader of the Bade Group Blueberries to guide us through our lineup for the day.
Good morning. Good morning, President. I hand over. Hello.
Thank you very much, Wax, for escorting me. Good morning, Rotarians, fellow Rotarians. Thank you, President, for the opportunity. I would like us to welcome you all to this month of November. I would like to read the lineup for today as follows. We have the Grace by CMP Adrian. We have Rotarian Yedida, who is going to take us through the Royal Toast. We have Rotarian Esther for the forward test. We have Dr. Basima introducing us for the panelists. The questions and answers are going to take us through by Rotarian Jane. We have the vote of thanks to be led by PP Safina. We have our Sergeant of Arms at Arms, Rotarian Wax, and the final toast will be taken by Rotarian Grace. Thank you so much. I hand over back to you, President.
Thank you very much, Super Lady Rotarian Jane Pito. And allow me invite you, Changemaker President Adrian Mutiaba, to start us off with a grace.
Thank you, President Frederick. Good morning, Rotarians, Retractors, and friends of Rotary on call this morning. Let's humble ourselves for the grace, for what we have and what we are about to receive. May we be truly thankful and ever mindful of the needs of the others. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, CMP Adrian. The twin, Yedida Nyakato, give us the loyal toast.
Good morning, Rotarians, visitors, and everyone on call. The loyal toast today for the wonderful fellowship we are yet to have. Very good news ahead of us. I propose the loyal toast to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Thank you very much. I'll now invite you, our Mugole CPA Rotarian Esther Kakuba. Please give us the forward test.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians, Retractors, guests, and friends on call. Please join me to recite the forward test, but mute your microphones. The forward test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill
and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Over to you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, our Mugole. I like the way you're slowly but surely getting out of the Mugole. Thank you very much. Friends,
so much.
I would like to allow some time for all Rotarians, Rotractors, guests, and all friends of Rotary on call today morning. I will allow ourselves 2 minutes to weigh in with our Rotary information. And as usual, it is my humble request that if you have Rotary information, please shoot your hand up and we'll give you space to voice your Rotary information. We have 2 minutes to do this. I already see a hand, but I will start with my senior PAG Sydney Subuga. Kindly unmute and give us Rotary information.
Thank you, President Frederick, and good morning, everyone on this call this morning. I have information to the effect that we will host the 3rd edition of the Eastern Mega Fellowship in Mbale between the 26th to the 28th of this very month. I have a special invitation to you, President Frederick, and I would love that if you must come, kindly carry along all the doctors of your club, because there's a special function that they shall perform. And I would like as well to invite all of you that are on this call, because we often have great time during this Eastern Mega Fellowships. Payment is 150,000. The flyers are all over. Kindly book your ticket as soon as possible. Looking forward to seeing all of you.
Thank you very much, PAG Sydney. And indeed, the Eastern Mega Fellowship, an annual event it has been, is an event that none of us should miss out. So we shall definitely join you to enjoy the fun and the fellowship. So I will see your hand, Rotarian Wilberforce Samanya. Please unmute and share with us your Rotary information.
Yes, good morning, President, and thank you, and good morning to you all Rotarians and friends of Rotary on call. This, Mr. President, is to inform you and the entire members of the Kampala Daybreak that on Saturday, it will be an important Rotary Day for Kampala Daybreak, whereby every Rotarian will be planting a tree in a campaign dubbed a tree for every Rotarian. So we'll be having our day at Safir Haji, I Read ECD at Rizira and Kasam Resource Center. And we will be celebrating our tree planting day, the campaign that we have started across all the ECDs that we have in this country. Also, President, allow me to inform all the Rotarians that on Saturday of 13th of November, we shall be having a blood donation campaign at City Square in a campaign dubbed One Drop of Blood Initiative. Would like to invite you all to come and join us, inform your friends, inform your families, to come and take part, and we save our mothers. I thank you, Mr. President, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Wilberforce Amanya, Project Director, Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. Yes, indeed. Mission Green is our focus area at Kampala Daybreak as well, among the many Rotary clubs. And we agreed that this year we are going to plant trees across all the 17 early childhood development centers. I like that we've already done this in all our schools in West Nile, and all roads on Saturday lead to that very nice facility. We want to make it more green. You can see it has a little more areas that are not green. So we want to paint it green by planting trees. And again, there is a gap of blood donation. Thank you for giving us ample. It gives us 2 weeks for those of us that have percentages onto our drinks. So we have to prepare our blood on this very day. Thank you very much, Rotarian Amanya. Allow me welcome all Rotarians and all guests and all friends of Rotary to join us onto these great events, our Kampala Daybreak. You are now welcome, Rotarian Annie Ninyesiga, all the way from Rotary Club of Bwebaja. Great to have you with us. Please give us your Rotary information.
Thank you so much, President. Good morning, everyone. The Rotary Club of Bwebaja, in partnership with the Rotary Club of Bushenyi, will be having a health camp in Rubirizi district, Bushenyi site, and Katerera on the 19th, from the 19th to 21st. Departure from Kampala is 19th, return is 21st of this month. That is departure Friday, return Sunday. The health camp itself will be on Saturday, 20th. I'll call upon everyone who can join us to join us. The fee is only 70,000, covering transport and meals, and any form of support is highly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Annie Ninyesiga. Indeed, Otwesige, we shall be with you, just like your name suggests. Friends, I want to request that we end our Rotary information by voice at this, but you're welcome to proceed and share more information in our chat section, and we'll give it the due attention it deserves. I want to join all the Rotary clubs across the globe to welcome and celebrate the month of our Rotary Foundation, which is the charity arm of Rotary International that enables us to see our motto, service above self, come to reality. And you know what? When we thought about this, we thought we need to hear from the gurus about this foundation so we can learn a lot together. It is now my pleasure and privilege to invite you, AG, Dr. James Onyoin, because the people you're going to introduce are doctors. I couldn't find another person than yourself to precisely unveil our moderator as well as our panelists to take it away. Over to you, James.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, President Takule. Today we have very distinguished panelists. It's going to be a panel, and I'm really privileged to be introducing them. Are you hearing me and seeing me?
You are loud and clear. Just go right ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to first of all to introduce our moderator for today. That is Past Assistant Governor, Dr. Timothy Basima. Timothy is a past president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. He's a certified public accountant. He's the CEO and tax partner at Goldgate Certified Public Accountants. He's also a partner and director at Kampala Associated Accountants. Timothy is board member, Audit and Risk Committee for CIPLA, Quality Chemicals, the board of directors of Mengo Hospital Rotary Blood Bank. Is a member of the Palliative Care Association a board member of the Palliative Care Association of Uganda. Is a member of the League of East African Directors. Again, that brings me together with him. He's a past assistant governor, of course, and is a major donor. Fellow participants, I'm also privileged to introduce to you today, just a minute, to introduce to you our panelists. That is Honorable Dr. Mike Kennedy Sebalu. As you all know, he doesn't need much introduction, but I can just mention that he's a district governor-elect for District 9213. He's a member of the advisory board for Makerere University Rotary Peace Center. He served as a Constituent Assembly delegate who promulgated the 1995 Constitution. He's a member of the 7th Parliament. He was a member of the 7th Parliament of Uganda and served in the inaugural Pan-African Parliament. He's a board member of various institutions at national, regional, and continental level. He's a major donor, BK Society member, and a Paul Harris Society member. And he's also a benefactor to the Rotary Foundation. The next panelist today, we have a businessman, a seasoned businessman in the names of past District Governor Kenneth Mugisha. Kenneth is a Rotary Coordinator for Zone 22, Region 28 for the year 2022-2025. His best district governor. He was voted the best district governor, Africa Zone 2017-2018, where in District 9211, it was actually voted the best district, the district which he led. He was appointed in September as the co-chair of the All African Zone Institute 2020. He's a fundraising chair for the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene USAID Rotary International Project. He's a board chair for Malaria Free Uganda under Ministry of Health. He's a district international service chair for 2021 to 2024 for District 9214. He's the director for SRAG in 2017 to 2021. He's a major donor level 2, a BK Society member level 4. There is no better combination than the major donors in different capacities that are going to be in the panel today. I hand you over back to President to give it to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. A.G. James Onywen. It is now my singular honor to hand this session to you, PhD Dr. Timothy Basima, to delve deeper into the discussion about our Rotary Foundation. Dr. Timothy, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Changemaker President Frederick Chitakude, for giving us this opportunity to have these two gallant Rotarians in-house to break down and give us more insights about the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much, James Onywen, for the introduction and Ebre giving us the profiles of our two Rotarians in the house. The first question or the first discussion is going to Governor Ken about the Rotary Foundation, well knowing that the Rotary Foundation transforms all our gifts into projects that transform lives and makes a difference in society. The question is, how can clubs apply for global grants, if at all it is still there, towards COVID-19 related projects? If you can first give us any insights on if at all clubs can apply for global grants towards the COVID-19 related projects? And if yes, how they do it? Over to you, Rotarian Governor Ken.
Thank you very much, our moderator, Rotarian Timothy Basima. I'll take you through the support our Rotary Foundation has given through the audited report of our Rotary Foundation for the year 2020-21. In that year, Rotary Foundation expended of $25.5 million towards COVID-19 specific grants, on top of supporting our new initiative, which was started just before COVID struck us globally, through what we call the disaster response funds, because Rotary, in anticipation of disasters to come, having seen what has been happening in the Caribbean through the different hurricanes almost wiping out the entire islands, seeing even our local challenges like what happened in Bududa district, to those are the landslides, through our climate change, which we have destroyed, it felt it fit to support campaigns like disaster response funds and COVID-19 specific grants. So having spent $25.5 million towards that is a sign that our foundation believes and accepts that we must come up as Rotarians, because the world is watching and looking at us as the most dependable organization. And yes, true, it is dispersing funds through grants towards COVID-19 specific grants and related activities. What happens? We have what we call the District Rotary Foundation chairs and our district grant officers. It is through them that clubs identify which areas of support towards COVID-related activities, and then you can apply for global grant, which will be supported by Rotary Foundation. That amount, I gave it to you to show that Rotary indeed is supporting COVID-related activities, and it will continue to do so until a time when we believe COVID is no longer a challenge to humanity.
Governor Ken, are you offline?
No, I've finished. I've concluded. I've given the explanation.
Thank you very much, Governor Ken. On call is still Governor Honorable Sebalu. Yours is about the simple brief about the Rotary Foundation, because clubs and Rotarians and non-Rotarians seem not to know how to give to Rotary Foundation. Either they know and knowingly, or unknowingly, they don't give to the Rotary Foundation. Would you give us a brief on how the Rotary Foundation raises funds and how we as Rotarians or non-Rotarians can give to Rotary Foundation without stress, without strain, and with ease? Over to you, Governor Honorable Sebalu.
Yeah, thank you very much, our dear and distinguished on call. Good morning to the panel. My brother Ken, who is a very seasoned actor within the TRF activities. I really want to thank you for having thought of this aspect of engagement during the month of November, which is the month dedicated to the foundation, the Rotary Foundation. But from the beginning, I really want to say that activities of the Rotary Foundation should not be limited to the month of November. The activities to do with the foundation should not have time limits or term limits if it were to apply. These are activities that we should do all the time. Every time should be giving time. Every occasion should be an occasion to celebrate the foundation. In a celebration, we are fond of giving gifts. We can translate them into foundation giving. You know, celebrating a birthday for your son or your daughter, you could throw in $100 every Rotarian every year kind of arrangement to celebrate that so that we are able to make good. Now, the Rotary Foundation is something that I would describe as follows. To me, I would take it as a nerve center, you know, that stabilizes the system. I would take it like an engine in a car. There's no way you can talk of a sound car without a sound engine. And the engine gives the power to move. I would take it like a backbone in the body morphology and structure, because that's what gives us the structure, that's what allows the locomotion, that's what gets us moving. I would equate it to an epicenter in terms of geology, where you can get things stabilized and working, and it is a lifeline. So Rotary without the foundation would not be anything relevant, because then we would not justify our existence, would not make any impact to the communities that we serve. And in terms of character, I would look at it as a very credible organization, very reputable, very transparent, very accountable, and where good governance is practiced as per excellence. And that's why it has been rated a 4-star by the Charity Navigator for a very long period of time, consistently. Now, that is the organization we are talking about, which helps us to do good in the world and which translates our gifts into concrete service projects that are impactful to the communities that we serve. Must give. And it also has the utilization arm that supports the projects that we do. And for us to be appreciated as Rotarians, we need to really come out with service projects in the 7 areas of focus. So the 7 areas of focus would not have any impact if the Rotary Foundation were never in existence, because it is then that we are able to translate that into reality through very impactful projects. So we need it. We must cherish it. We must support it. We must ensure that it does succeed. So that is the foundation that supports us in doing what we do. And that is the one that unpacks our new vision statement as Rotary, where we talk of seeing a world where people unite, take action to cause lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. There's no way we can take action without the foundation supporting what we do. And when we talk of taking action, it should be taking action in terms of giving, in terms of supporting, and taking action in terms of utilization, and thereby causing lasting change through the decisions we take in implementing very impactful projects. Yesterday, I was making a presentation at Kampala West, and Governor Tusu asked me a very interesting question that I want to share with you, and that should inform our future action. He did inquire, and he did stated that we've done a lot of talking. We've made very many presentations, and I believe that clubs are not short of information regarding the foundation, what it is, what it does, how it does it, and what impact it makes. All through this week, we are all over the place. Yesterday, I made 2 presentations. I'm making one. There are several that I'm going to make. So we've been able to disseminate information regarding the Rotary Foundation, and we've demystified it, both in terms of content, character, and how it operates. But the challenge remains in the practical reality of applying the principle, the knowledge, and the information that we get by giving. So I want to challenge all of you on call this morning that we have good reason to give. We know why we should give. We know how we should give. We know when we should give. So my challenge to each and every one of you is to get out of your comfort zone and start giving. Don't think of giving the biggest that you can never give. Begin with the little that you can afford. Begin with the little that you have, because it is the spirit, not so much of the amount, so that we get started. And giving regularly, giving consistently, and giving willingly. Back to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, DGA Honorable Sebalu. To you, Governor Ken, while you were the district governor, you gave us a model. You showed us that giving does not pain. You showed us that giving is a gift and it's something we should embrace. Would you give us a brief on how we can raise funds towards the support of Rotary Foundation? And also in brief, you also hint on why giving is almost always higher than utilization in our district. Thank you very much. Over to you, Governor Ken.
I'll start through telling you that the last question is very important for all Rotarians listening in this morning to understand that it is the reverse, that indeed our utilization is more than our giving, and the reason why we should give more to support our Rotary Foundation. Last Rotary year, our giving stood at over $600,000 US. And yet our utilization as a district, because by then we're still District 9211, has always stood at over $10 million US, or from a minimum of $5 million and above, consistently. And friends and fellow Rotarians, Rotractors listening in this morning, and all our aspiring members, I am a businessman, and through my business, I know there's no business where you invest if I use our local currency, 500 or 600,000 Uganda shillings, and out of that you earn 10 million shillings. It is only through our Rotary Foundation, which transforms our gifts into greater impact through service in our areas of focus. Look at an example of what has been done last Rotary year, that our foundation, which we've grown to over $1.2 billion at an initial giving of 26.5, that growth has seen us that last Rotary year through the 6 areas of focus, because protecting the environment hadn't started being a beneficiary of global grants. We gave out 2,066 global grants worth over $170 million. And that was through the 6 areas of focus outside our #1 external priority, which is the eradication of polio in this world. So if we bring the total in our contribution towards the 6 areas of focus, combined with our #1 external priority, which is eradicating of polio in our lifetime, our Rotary Foundation gave out nothing less than over $250 million in that particular year, which is the recent year, having been audited recently. Friends, I've always been telling friends I'm addressing, like how Honorable Sebalu, our district governor-elect, shared. We are so busy that we are talking every day because we feel every Rotarian to remain relevant in the world we live in today, during and post-COVID. Our donations and support our Rotary Foundation is very important. Our ambitious campaign has never ended of 2025 by 2025 to continue growing our foundation to 2,025 million by the year 2025. Yet we have 2 years which have been lost. Just for your information, I'd like to share with you that last Rotary year, we had a goal of giving worth $410 million globally as Rotary clubs, as districts. In that year, we surpassed our giving and we gave highest ever since our foundation started, and that was during COVID. We raised 440.7 million. What does that mean? That Rotarians, because we are known to be dependable, but we identify challenges all over the world, and we say we'll never sit back and relax. We worked so hard, Rotarians. We made sure that we keep a promise, and that promise was unveiled in June this year, which says that delivering on a promise. Delivering on a promise reminds us to continue with a match of 1 to 2. Bill and Melinda Foundation continuously giving $100 million and Rotarians being encouraged to contribute and raise $50 million, with a total contribution of $150 million every year. Indeed, we can truly wipe out polio from the face of the earth. This year, statistics show that we've had only 2 cases of the wild polio virus, one in Pakistan and one in Afghanistan, showing that we're delivering on our promise. And that theme has been unveiled under the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. And we believe each and every one of you must support our campaign to wipe out polio. I'll just give you an example of the Rotary Club of Mienga, where I come from. Every fellowship will raise nothing less than $800 every fellowship towards eradicating polio and responding to the eradication of polio as our priority number 1. I believe raising $800 every week or every fellowship, when we are just seated in our offices, in our homes, is a sign to many of other clubs listening in to learn that giving, when you give for the first time, giving never ends. It is because the challenges never end. The world is looking at each and every one of you. With that rappel you don on your jackets, on your blouses, to be reliable, dependable, caring, and with a heart of gold. It is that heart of gold which brings me to this course of action. That today, as we leave this fellowship, and it is what I'm telling all clubs I'm talking to, I'm having another club in the evening or 2, and my call of action is going to be done until we complete our foundation month. That when we talk about giving, we don't talk about giving 1,000, giving 100. If at all you can give $10 and 5, use your cards and go online, because each and every one of you can log in through Rotary Club Central, and you all have our portal at Rotary International. And that takes you through your membership and your giving. Please click that button of donate, fill in your details, and indeed, even if it is $5, it will save so many children from being crippled. A dose is less than $1 today. And I believe with $5, you can save 10 lives. By doing that, we are going to grow foundation giving. We are going to surpass even the highest giving we've had last Rotary of 440.7. And indeed, we'll give hope to the people of the world. Each and every one of you, because we are not a social club, we are a service-based organization. And from the statistics I've given you, they are there to encourage you about what we've done. The last Rotary as an example, because we must talk about the recent, what contribution our foundation has had towards supporting educational programs and humanitarian service projects, giving hope to the hopeless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Ken, for the elaborate and statistical information that you've given us. And I'm very sure each and every one of us has picked on what to leverage on. The last question goes to DGE Honorable Sebalu. We have a Makerere University Rotary Peace Center, and it benefits from the Rotary Foundation. It is one of the centers where you sit as a board member. And we wish you, Governor Sebalu, to give us a brief on how we as Rotarians can allocate our humble giving towards the fund that supports the Rotary Peace Center, if at all that fund is there, and give us a brief on how the Peace Center benefits from the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much. Over to you, Honorable Sebalu.
Yeah, thank you very much, Moderator. I'd like to appreciate the intervention of my colleague panelist, Ken, regarding the statistics. Because if we break out in terms of numbers, then we get to appreciate what needs to be done and how often we can do it and what impact it can cause. Because as we speak now, Rotary has passed the 1.4 million membership mark as per the recent initiative of President Shekameta, of each one bring one. So we have now a net growth of 200,000 members. But just for purposes of illustration, if each member of Rotary, the 1.4 million members, contributed $1 per day, that would mean that we can raise $1.4 million on a daily basis. And what would that translate to in terms of the week, in terms of the month, and in terms of the year? You will find it very interesting, because in local currency, a dollar is about 3,600, or at the highest, put it at 4,000. That is excusing yourself of a bottle of beer per day, and you'll make good in the world by contributing. So I wanted to use that to show how we can leverage on our numbers by making very affordable contributions at the lowest, and the kind of return that we can get at the end of the day. Now, we do have a Peace Center, and that is one of the programs of the Rotary Foundation, 7 of them scattered across the world. And the very first one that we have on the African continent, being domiciled in our jurisdiction of Makerere. And it was an outcome of a very competitive process where we competed with the best of institutions on the African continent, including Nairobi University, the Annan Center of Excellence in Ghana, among very many others. But because of the competence, because of the cooperation, and because of the intervention of very many actors, Makerere emerged the best in terms of capacity, the best in terms of suitability, and the best in terms of what it provided, as programs and the technical capacity involved. And when we get some of these good things, we always have to thank people that have put initiative. The team that was assembled by Governor Xavier, who was the governor at the time, our team leader, Anne, Masade, and a couple of many others did great, and we really appreciate that. But we also must appreciate Governor Katongole, who was able to get in touch at an early age when we were about to lose it out, because we had missed the first opportunity, but through his interactions with the Rotary International players, he was able to revive that initiative, and we got it. So we have it. And it is giving us great visibility as a country, great visibility as Rotary in Uganda, and we are doing good in that aspect. We are now having the second cohort coming in. They are already here. I want to thank the host councillors and the people that are very associated with that. And we must again thank Vice Chancellor Makerere for being supportive and leading the way to ensure that that program is successfully hosted at Makerere University. So we now have an endowment fund that was created specifically to support Makerere Peace Center, and you as a member of Rotary can support by making your contribution and indicating the area of interest that you are supporting, and that is Makerere Peace Center, so that then the donations that you give go ahead and do support in that regard. And we are glad that even about 16 districts within the African continent have pledged 20% of their DDF to go towards supporting Makerere Peace Center. That is in respect of African solidarity, because all the governors and all the districts are very proud that for the very first time, the African continent has been able to attract such a strategic Rotary program of the foundation to be domiciled on the African continent. And the alumni, those that have already gone through this program, have done great in terms of giving good account of the value that they've picked from Makerere. When they go back to their countries of abode, they have social change programs that they do undertake with the support and supervision and collaboration of Makerere, and those have created good impact. And therefore, the feedback that we get is good, and the program is very well appreciated. Let's support this initiative by out for very competent young men and women who have the qualifications. You must be working in the area of peace and over a period of time. So we need to look out for those that are competent, and we are able to sponsor them and make sure that they do partake. That is another area that we need to engage in. We need to engage with the peace scholars that come up with our clubs, inviting them to give presentations to our clubs, or even engaging them in our projects so that they get to appreciate Rotary more. And finally, I think the best way of supporting is alluding to the question of our moderator, Basima, is to support by giving donations to the Peace Center through the endowment that was created. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Over to you.
Thank you very much, our panelists. This has been so insightful. I can see in the chat room, so inspiring to give, is so insightful, and indeed it is. Members on call, this is a time that we can raise our questions to the panelists so that they give us some other brief insights in whatever they have not tackled, and we move out of this call when we are all enriched. If there are any questions, you can raise up your hand, or you can put it in the chat room so that we give chance to the panelists. In the next 10 minutes, we close the question and answer session.
Thank you very much, PhD Dr. Timothy Basima, for ably engaging these gallant, passionate leaders of our district who are very passionate about the Rotary Foundation. Our friends, allow me once again invite you, Dr. A.G. James Onyuen, to, in 5 minutes, give an opportunity to our audience to interact with our panelists by way of their questions and comments that they could have raised from the chat section, but better still, if there are those that would like to voice their, their comments or questions, give them platform to do so. Dr. A.G., I am back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, our panelists and the moderator. This has been really a very good exposure what happens and what needs to happen in the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much for your rich knowledge in this area. I'm sure everybody online, everybody who's on this call has benefited. I've personally learned a lot, and I think the members must be having some questions I would like to raise at this point. So feel free to put up your hand. That is one. But also you can put the question in the chat room. I'll pick it up. So I'm just waiting for you to bring your questions. Of course, there are a lot of thank you messages in the chat room, really speaking to the fact that this has been a very great discussion, and I appreciate that. So members, if you have a question, can you put up your hand? I hope I will be able to see your hand, and also put them in the chat room. And not only questions, if you have a comment, you can also add to what the gallant sons, as the president has called them, which is really very true, gallant sons of Rotary. I'm not seeing any hand up. I don't know whether it's my computer, but I think I'm not seeing a hand up. I want to believe that you should be having some comments to add to this, or some questions, or some testimony you would like to share with the panelists. Yes, I have a question from the District Executive Secretary, Jane Kabugo. Can you go straight to it?
Thank you so much, and a big thank you to our panelists and the moderator for an insightful panel discussion. 2 questions. The first one is on TRF recognitions, and the fact that we have actually made some of these recognitions to become titles. Like you hear people calling us MD Jane, MD Timothy, MD this. What are your thoughts around these titles that have emerged with this kind of giving? That's my first question. My second question, which I think I sent to DGE Mike, is to do with the Makerere Peace Center. I think that there is still some bit of sensitization that needs to happen around the Makerere Peace Center. Many people don't know much about the Peace Center, Rotarians, let alone the population at large. So what can we do to actually make it popular? You find that even clubs that are hosting Peace Fellows, they really think that it's the counselors that are hosting, not the club. Please give some bit of more insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane, for that question. We'll take maybe 2 more, although yours came as twins, but I can still take 2 more. Can I hear from Jacob Sendaula?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you all, wonderful leaders. This has been very inspirational indeed. Now, mine is in regards with our foundation's decision to fully engage Rotaract clubs in doing grants. Do we have a deliberate approach as a district to see to it that Rotaract clubs can now increase their utilization through district simplified grants, like we saw in 2019-20? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jacob, for that question. The next question I'm going to take is from Jessica Namfuka.
Thank you very much, MD James, and thank you very much, our great leaders. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to request DG Sebalu to throw more light on online giving. He talked about it a bit. And secondly, for RSC Daybreak, you are very good at you have early child centers. The Rotary Foundation, have you got money from the Rotary Foundation so that you can, so that your projects have been boosted? And lastly, I'm inviting everyone this evening to join me at Rotary Club of Chigo
Oh, sorry. Jessica, your line has gone bad. Hello?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jessica, can you put your message on the chat as well? Of course, I've heard what you've said. I'm sure the panelists have also heard. So we will, maybe we first take those and then we shall come back to Christine and Edward Kakembo. But I think at this point, let's first take those questions.
With your indulgence, moderator, may I beg that you allow these two to be our last question so that the panelists can respond and we end the discussion.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's okay as well. I think that would be nice. Let's have Rotarian Edward Kakembo.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you, colleagues on call. My question goes, I want to thank the two governors for that very insightful presentation. My question goes to Governor Mike. When I last checked 2 months back, our district, out of the District 9213, out of the 98 clubs, about 29 clubs had never given a single coin to the Rotary Foundation. Governor Mike, as you come on board, what can be done to make sure that every single club gives to the foundation? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very, very exciting question. I'm sure Governor Mike will give it justice. Can we hear from my past assistant governor, Christine Cheyune?
Thank you very much, MD James, and thank you so much, our panelists this morning, and my brother Timothy for ably moderating. Good morning, everybody. Mine is a simple request. For the past years, we used to have the Rotary Foundation dinners that would get us together. And these were such a motivator for people to give for that recognition. I know it's not very good to give for recognition, but it is very important to any giver. So I'm calling upon our distinguished leaders on call today. You've been your panelists. Why don't we at least, looking at the COVID situation, why don't we hold at least virtual TRF, engagements so that we have the whole, in fact, I would say the two districts coming together to collect, even if it's virtual. I believe this recognition is going to hold. We had something for lunch, but we had a lunch when the RI president came in, but that was not sufficient. We could organize, publicize it, and then have people give and get recognized during that virtual event if we fear for the numbers. Mine is just a request because in the previous years, I saw we're collecting much more than we're collecting now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, PIG Christine Cheyune. Now, we'll stop with those questions. Mr. President, I have a question directly coming to you about Rotary Foundation. Have you got Rotary Foundation from, have you got funding from the Rotary Foundation for the signature projects for Kampala Daybreak? That is the early childhood development centers. I think I would like you to say something about that. And then the final announcement is that our dear friend, Jessica Namfuka, will be presenting at the Rotary Club of Chigo today about the Rotary Foundation. Let's crowd it up at Chigo. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Moderator. I think I will allow the panelists to respond to their respective questions, and then I will come later. Over to you, our panelists.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, can I
thank
go
you,
ahead?
President. Now who goes in first? Because I started.
Okay, Governor Ken, you can start first. I know you're both Ken, but Kenneth Mugisha.
Thank you so much. I'll start with the one which came from our district executive secretary for District 9213, Jane Kabugo, which talks about titles and recognition and people calling titles MD, MD, MD. I think the only payment we get from Rotary is recognition. And it is in a way inspiring when people are being recognized for being selfless in everything we do. Friends, when someone refers you as MD, it is not just towards MD. It signifies selflessness. With a contribution of $10,000 US, it is not a small thing to donate. That money can be used to upgrade a car. It can be used to buy a plot of land. If you go to the village, $10,000 can buy acres and acres of land. But it is because we believe and we feel that it is us who have committed through service and becoming Rotarians that we work so hard every day to give life-changing effects in our areas of service in Rotary. Equipping hospitals, taking water to those who need it, educating the children of the world and connecting them to the children of the world, promoting peace like what has been on the floor, economically empowering the women and the youth and communities at large. Now, those titles are meant to show others that so and so, DG Mike Sebalu, DGN Francisco Semwanga, District Membership Chair Christine Kamoya, have hit that mark of their contribution attaining that major donor level. But you can see that whoever has become a major donor, they don't end there, they continue giving every year to make sure that they move to another level. And if they reach another level, they don't get tired. That should be emulated by all Rotarians. I've seen Rotarians who put on a rappel pin for a PHF when they last gave in 1995. And that pin, when you look at it, even the face of Paul Harris cannot be recognized. It shows that they have given up. They think that everything is okay. Yet we have challenges which are increasing but never ending. We must continue giving and we must change the face of what we put on through moving from one level to another, so that together we can promote peace and live in harmony, where we reach out to communities and save as many lives as possible, but also bring smiles to so many. I'll go to the second one, which was raised by past district Rotary chair, and it was about our foundation supporting Rotractors. For your information, all Rotarians and Rotractors listening in this morning, starting January next year, districts applying for global grants can include Rotaract clubs activities, but it is only Rotaract clubs with experience with grants that can apply for global grants. And that is not the end. The Rotractors who would like to participate in these global grants must participate in global grant management seminars. So DGE Mike and DGE Peace, I don't know whether it's online. This is one of the activities you must have through your training, that you're going to have Rotractors, because since Rotract was elevated, we are almost at equal standing with Rotractors, which means district governor-elects must have Rotractors through their training, and the officers from all those Rotract clubs, more specifically from the community-based Rotract clubs, must be invited to participate in the grant seminars so that they are ready to participate, because the resources have been accepted from a Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees to fund activities in our areas of focus towards Rotract activities. I think that one answers the question my brother, young brother Jacob sent away. Lastly, I'll go to the question which came through District Membership Chair, District 9214, Christine Kaoya. PAG Christine, you are talking about having joint TRF dinners. Friends, let me share with you. Last month, I was invited to be the guest of honor from District 9212, and that function was held in a very, very magnificent hotel. And it was a cultivation dinner for District 9212. And indeed, they invited givers, Rotarians. And it was through that, when I talked about the foundation as the chief fundraiser and guest of honor, that we received one member of the Rotary Club in Nairobi who contributed $250,000 to become an Arch Club Society member in District 9214. It comes from our leaders to be innovative, to be adaptive, to even take that risk during COVID, because myself, I also took a risk. I flew in Nairobi as their guest of honor and chief fundraiser. But people also in Kenya traveled from wherever across and came and attended that dinner. And that dinner brought results, bringing one person who contributed $250,000 to Rotary Foundation. The rest moved from being major donor level 1 to level 2, level 2 to level 3, and many contributions towards becoming Paul Harris Society members and Paul Harris members. Friends, even in COVID, the world has not slept. The reason why I gave you statistics that we raised and surpassed our giving goal from 410 to 440.7, it was because initiatives were undertaken in districts all over the world. When the world was sleeping in their houses, Rotarians never slept. They continuously gave to our Rotary Foundation, and that is the reason why we hit that landmark in the history of Rotary of giving and raising 440.7 in a time of a pandemic. So for me, I'm one of the persons who never tires because of COVID, but I live and I put my life in line to make sure that we give hope to the hopeless. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor Ken Mugisha. Can I then come to Governor Mike Kennedy? Your response.
Maybe before Governor Mike comes in, friends, allow me borrow strictly 10 minutes of your time to enable us respond to these very important questions that have been raised by the audience. And wind up. Over to you, Governor Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to begin with my sister, Jen Kabugo. My brother Ken has given his thoughts regarding the same. I wish to share mine too. And the titles, I don't want to call them titles. I want to call them recognitions. And these recognitions are within the Rotary International instruments regarding recognition for giving, because every level of giving carries with it a level of recognition. And recognition is earned. Recognition is not given, but it is earned. And once you've earned it, celebrate it and be a celebrated Rotarian in that regard. Because this recognition is a result of great effort, great sacrifice, great deal of commitment, and being exemplary. And when a Rotarian demonstrates those traits and is recognized, I see no problem at all that recognition being used to inspire others, to motivate others, to encourage others, so that we use such examples and to demonstrate that actually these things can be done, these recognitions can be made, this kind of giving can be achieved. So I want to believe in appreciation, because that recognition is in appreciation, that recognition is in acknowledgement, that recognition is in recognition of what one has been able to do, being outstanding. So when you earn a recognition, the only problem I would have is, for me, Mike Sebalu, Major Donor Level 2, to go around carrying that title myself. And when I'm introducing myself, Mike Kennedy Sebalu, Major Donor Level 2, that will be offensive, that will be undesirable, that would not be palatable. But when other people recognize you as so, I think it is indeed for purposes of encouraging others. So those recognitions are available. And personally, I recognize people for doing good. And I feel so proud when people have done good and it has been recognized and it has been appreciated. So that is how I would take that. I don't take offense when people are recognized for doing good. People, even in our clubs, in my year, when I was a president, I used what I called the AAR principle: acknowledgement, appreciation, and recognition of any small thing a member would do, because that is the motivation a Rotarian can get to do good, and it encourages others and it creates good examples for people to pick. Regarding the Makerere Peace Center, there's a lot of work that we have to do. I think we have to get Makerere Peace Center to be a topical issue of discussion. We need to put it on our discussion table within Rotary. We need to bring it down to the clubs. We need to have a trickle-down effect of the same to the clubs. And as people who are working with Makerere, we want to organize some sensitization activity to all the presidents for purposes of awareness creation, their clubs, and we are able to have an idea of what Makerere Peace Center is all about, what it does, and how important it is within the Rotary fraternity. So awareness needs to be undertaken, and plans are underway for purposes of engaging club presidents, club leaderships through the district to create awareness creation. And I agree with you, we are far from that, and we need to do more in terms of awareness creation, in terms of getting people to appreciate what the center is all about. The grants, I think my brother Ken did great justice to that. We had a question on the online giving and that was also addressed by Governor Ken with online tools and doing the giving online. You can use your credit card, you can do bank transfers. One thing that I just want to add on this is that there are many members who have been making contributions to the Rotary Foundation, but the club leadership delays in remitting. At times you find that money is even remitted in the following year, and people are not recognized for their giving of that particular year. That is something we need to address by exploring the online alternative, so that when you've given, you follow it through online and you make your donation, and Rotary International will acknowledge it and recognize you accordingly. If you are to avoid the delays occasioned by club leadership that do not remit the contributions in good time. At times, these contributions are even diverted to payment of dues and other financial obligations of the club, and they are not as meant them to be. So that way you can apply the online and be able to meet your desired results in good time without being diverted and without being distorted. So that's where the online can be very useful. On-time giving, on-time response, on-time acknowledgement, and on-time recognition. So that could be something that we can use. Now, DGN Kakembo raised a very important issue where many of our clubs are not giving, where we have quite a number of zero giving clubs. Now, during my year, I think the message is clear that that I'll have zero tolerance for zero giving clubs. So my view is to be proactive, to ensure that we work towards being all giving clubs. And in all giving clubs, I don't mean all Paula Harris Fellows only, or every Rotarian every year. as a club, we want to encourage clubs to arrive at consensus of a rate that can be accommodated by all members, but that can be achieved as an all-giving club. You can agree and say each member should give a minimum of $10. So you find that 1,040, and it must be paid by everyone, so that you become an all $10 giving club. You know, that is something good to write home about. So that is the agenda, to ensure that instead of entertaining zero giving, we want to create an enabling environment for all clubs to be all giving clubs. 100% giving, depending on a rate that they agree upon. If you agree on the 26.5, the foundation, the all foundation giving club, that can be. But even if members cannot afford that, you can agree, even if you agreed as a club that we are a $1 all giving club, and make sure that each and everyone gives $1 a year. If that is what you have agreed upon, that is something that will qualify you to be out of the docket of the zero giving clubs. So I really want to create a campaign of awareness to appreciate that. Let each and every one of us give the little that we can at all, is something that may not be very desirable, because even the Bible says, and all our faith-based organizations have it, that giving is more blessed, and it is in giving that we receive. So we really need to give to the foundation, because we even receive much more than we give there. Now, finally, is to do with Christine. Definitely, we need to navigate the disruptions of COVID-19 without losing sight of those activities that are very crucial in mobilizing our people, in motivating our people, in inspiring our people to give. We could do dinners that follow within the COVID-19 protocols. We do them with the social distancing, with all the COVID-19 kind of protocol adhered to. So let's be creative, let's be innovative, because we even need to give more during COVID, because the needs for support are even more enhanced. And I'm glad that we were able to give bigger contribution during COVID. That was a good demonstration of commitment, determination, and discipline in what we believe in. And I believe we can do it. So let's just be creative and innovative, do it within conformity of the standard operating procedures, but never lose sight of the need to contribute. We must always contribute. Finally, I just want to say that I enjoy good company with Governor Ken, because during his year as governor, I was the district fundraising chair, TRF, and we did great in terms of giving, raising very many major donors, many Bequeath Society members, and being the #1 district in terms of giving is something good to remember during the year of service when we worked together and he achieved more in this area. I really want to appreciate you for continuing with the drive of keeping mobilizing Rotarians to give, and we must give. Let's make giving a way of life. Let's enjoy giving. Let's be in the habit of giving, because it's in giving that we receive, and giving is more blessed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, moderators, for really highlighting the responses. And you have given me good memories. It is during Governor Ken's year that I became a major donor. And it is you who appointed me the chair for the TRF dinner. So you have really ignited a lot of good memories on me. And Mr. President, I want to bring it back to you. And also I'm happy that the panelists have made it very clear. I don't need to be shy to be called a major donor. Only I need to be humble and continue to be with humility. Rotarians are supposed to be kind, humble people. There's no need going around bragging that you're a major donor. But if you are recognized, it's fine. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Major Donor James Onywein, and thank you very much, Major Donor Timothy Basima, our able moderators for this morning. Before I invite Dr. and AGE and Major Donor to be, Dr. Safina Kisu-Musene, to give a vote of thanks, I want in 2 minutes, in 1 second, to respond to your question, Rotary and Jessica. We are known for the early child development centers. Do we do this using the global grants? And outrightly, the answer is no. But I like that in the next Rotary year, this is one of our critical objectives under the BELEP, strategy, basic education and literacy enhancement program, the signature or the flagship project under the next DG Mike Sebaru here, the next Rotary year. So these are the initiatives that we'll do, but I'm happy to announce that we have made possible 14 early child development center, and with this, we have crossed the $1 million donation to construct this early child development center, still counting. All this would never have been possible without our partners, the Institute for Rural Education and Development, I read. It is now my privilege to invite you, Dr. Safina Kisu-Musene, Major Donor to be, to move a vote of thanks, a befitting vote of thanks to these gallant panelists that have really done justice to this subject of the Rotary Foundation. Over to you, my AGE and my President Safina.
Thank you very much, my President Frederick, for really, you are like pushing and see what Safina will say as far as Rotary Foundation is concerned. President, I want to say that this morning I'm really privileged to give a vote of thanks to the 3 strong, I can call them strong or important VVIP men within our district. Allow me to give a vote of thanks to my old friend PDG Kenneth Mugisha for the wonderful presentation you have made today, the reminders and everything that you always do for Daybreak. We are handing over this virtual certificate to you, PDG Kenny, and please receive it with love from Daybreak. May I request also to be allowed to give a vote of thanks to our district governor-elect, Honorable Mike Kennedy Sebaru, Doctor, for the wonderful contribution you have done today. You have all taken us through what is Rotary Foundation and all that takes. And you have also reminded us that we will still have grants for COVID-19. DGE, we expect a lot out of you and thank you for being a daybreaker always. And lastly, let me thank the moderator, Dr. Basima, Major Donor, for always being that trusted person for Daybreak. Thank you very much, President, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, my senior leader, Dr. Safina Kisu-Musene. Our Sergeant at Arms, Stephen Wakasenza.
Thank you, President.
Do justice.
In the interest of time, I'll provide the summary, and I would like to borrow the words of DGE Mike to acknowledge and appreciate the 227 participants, 59 Rotary clubs, 4 Rotaract clubs, and 2 registered guests. The club of the day was Sunrise, RSC Sunrise, on account of numbers, and I request that we also appreciate the registered guests, Mrs. Onyoy and Mr. Richard Kalunji, because these are potential Rotarians. I submit.
Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms. Before I invite you,
the list of clubs will be shared on the chat group and later on today for all to appreciate.
Thank you very much. Before
Have we lost the president or it is my network?
Ken Wycliffe Mugisha. Thank you very much, DGN Edward Kakembo for District 9213. Thank you very much, DGN Francisco Semwanga for District 9214. It is a great honor always that you're with us. And to our very own DGE Honorable Dr. Mike Sebalu, I can say, wow. And I know that we will always be with you and you'll always be there. Thank you very, very, very much. DRRE, Owembawazi, Sarah, and at daybreak we call you Owawax, but thank you so much for being on call with us. Allow me, appreciate the district officials that have been on call this morning. DES, MDGN, LJ Gerard Obai, VCC, Samuel Manje, with all your comrades and our international partners from District 9214. Thank you very much for always being with us in big numbers. Our past assistant governors, really appreciate your presence. Changemaker Ages, led by our Dean of Ages, Eji Kai. What a joy it is to have you. And to you, my comrades, Changemaker presidents, it is indeed overwhelming and warming to always have you. And thank you, our leaders, Donna, the president of Presidents District 9214, and my sister, Kate, MD Kate Baraza, POP District 9213. Thank you very much. PEs on call, really appreciate you with your coordinator, Rotarian Marion Natukunda. Friends, it is at this that I want to bring this to a close, and allow me invite you.
Mr. President,
yes, DGE. Yes, DGE.
As we go for the final toast, can we appreciate and thank God for the life of our District Executive Secretary, Jen Kabugo? Today is her birthday. Thank you. As we toast,
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Friends, it is okay. I think we're going to pause in a moment. Let's unmute our microphones. And I know we have the vocalists, we have those with the toner, we have CP Sam with the bass. We sing for our PES. In the count of 1, 2, 3, let's go. Jessica Namfuka, this is when you defend your classification, if you're still on call.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jen. Happy birthday to you. We wish you more years. We wish you many more years. We wish you many more years. Happy birthday to you.
You look like a mommy.
On top of the final toast, we are also toasting for her good health and long life. Back to you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President.
100%.
Amen.
Jen, once again, happy birthday to you. Rotarian Grace Bikumbi, please let's bring this to the close with a final toast. In the absence of Rotarian Jen, let me invite you, Dr. A.G. James Onyuin, to kindly close this with a final toast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Can we all be upstanding and touch the most important part of our body? And because of the great fellowship that we've had, the great discussions that we've had, great testimonies and information sharing, and also for the birthday of our District Executive Secretary, Jen Kabugo, I propose a toast to Rotary International.
Rotary Thank you very much, friends.
James, you proposed that can we understand. Why are you really standing?
Yes,